Hi everyone, and welcome back to the second day of the C Arthritis event here at the CRA and AHPA annual scientific meeting in Victoria. Right now, I'm very happy to have Kelly English sitting beside me, who is a fellow patient and patient interviewer for the next few days here. So Kelly, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you're involved in the Arthritis Patient Advisory Board at ARC?
Absolutely. I've kind of found my space in the last few years. I have been a patient with RA for 24 years. Unbelievable, but it was January of 24 years ago. And I've always took on my disease as something of a challenge that I had to learn everything there was about it. I'm just sort of that way. I had to learn as much as I could because that's the way I could fight the disease. And I think for me that was really important, was the education. I worked with the Arthritis Society for a while, but the very first thing I did was just get heaped on with stress management classes and that little bit of physio that you can do even though you're sore and you're overwhelmed. And it built myself up a team, which was really important to me, that I had a rheumatologist, a general practitioner obviously, but I also had a physiotherapist, I had my pharmacist, all those little people that make, they're not little people, but you know, all those people that make your life so much easier and that you don't have to think about calling. So about 7 years ago, I answered an ad on Craigslist where they wanted someone for a focus group. And I really hit it off with the person that was doing this focus group because I was so excited that finally, for the first time in 24 years, somebody was saying, what's important to you? Do you think that patients like this idea? Would they like this? Would they feel it was intrusive? There were all these questions that I could finally say exactly how I felt about being a patient. And because of this, the lady invited me to do a speech. And I did the speech on social media because I am in the social media group. We've been together for 20 years. Way back when they had AOL. You're probably way too young for AOL, but you didn't have, the World Wide Web just really wasn't as easy to manipulate.
Right.
And we formed this group, and from there I just had a lot of information. So I talked about that to their annual research meeting and went over afterwards and said, how does a person get on here? Well, immediately I was there. So one of the things about Arthritis Research Canada, which is who I'm with now, is that we do a lot of different things that not everybody does. Some people get to be participants in research, but we're not always asked to be on a team. And that was really unique for me, that somebody would want me on their team to do research. I don't always understand what they're saying, and I say that. I'll say, on this I don't have an opinion. But a lot of times I'll say, I think something's wrong in that survey. I think you need to look at it from a patient's point of view, which is who you want to actually read it.
Exactly.
And make sure that it's in their language. So that's one of the things that we do at Arthritis Research Canada on the Patient Advisory Board. So we are on teams. We're not just participants. We have a once-a-month meeting. We are not a support group. Although, yes, we support each other as a group, that just even in your own work. But at the same time, we gather information and we give information. We are supported by Arthritis Research Canada for 2 events a year. We go to the American College of Rheumatology Conference, which I was just at in November, and we go to the CRA, and we have a member this year that has been supported by Arthritis ARC. I'll call it ARC. It's Arthritis Research Canada, and that's Eileen, and she'll be talking a bit later. So right now we have a full slate. It's taken us a long time to get there, but we have 22 members. We're basically full. We've got a waiting list.
Congratulations.
I know. And the big thing about it is that it's not all RA patients. At the beginning it was very RA focused, and we had, a few people with ankle spondylopathy, and we sort of had somebody with psoriatic, But now we are representing a huge variety of people.
Right. And there's diversity in age and gender as well,
Age,
right?
gender, nationality, whether you were diagnosed years ago and have damage, or whether you were fairly newly diagnosed. So this gives us a really rich environment now. I'm very pleased. It's taken a lot of work. So one of the things we did is we had a consultant in who helped us to divide everything into groups, helped us divide the load into groups, helped us set goals and timelines so that we would meet those goals. And because of that organization, we found, I think, that we're moving a little bit more with a little bit more, what's the word I'm going to want to say?
Guidance?
That's exactly right. With just a little bit more guidance, and the load is not all on one person, which is huge.
Very important, yeah.
I was co-chair for a couple of years with one other person. It was a lot of work.
Right, and especially it can be a difficult thing having a chronic disease and then having these responsibilities. And
exactly. And what do you do? And you get a cold, and you can't go to a meeting, but you can cuddle up on your couch and phone in. And that's a really big thing. So within the group, we've done a couple of really important things, I think.
That's right. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, we have reissued our lifestyle guide, which is on our webpage. And the lifestyle guide comes from us as patients. It's our suggestions, our tips that make life easy. For example, let's say you have arthritis, which by chance you do, and you want to have a dinner party. And so you look at it and you say, you're overwhelmed. And so as a result of that, you don't invite anyone over, your social group goes, they don't invite you, that kind of thing. Our tips and guides for that might say, make it potluck. I always set my table, sometimes up to a week in advance, and set it with everything I want. I make dessert from the bakery maybe, or I make it 3 days ahead of time. These are the kind of tips that are in our guidelines. Things like how to do hair care when your shoulder's sore. So we remind people to look back on it, not just look at it at the moment, but look back, because there's like hundreds of different tips from all of us.
What I do personally is it's this great, really lengthy document. There's so much information in it. It's amazing. And what I find is really helpful is I just go Control F and then I write what I'm looking for. So let's say I'm thinking about traveling, or I'm thinking about the topic I'm looking for advice on from other patients who are experts in the area, and then it brings me directly to that section in the lifestyle.
I've done that. That's right. Keeping your something as simple as buying a lightweight suitcase instead of a big one.
Yeah.
And taking maybe 2 pairs of shoes, if you can get away with one, kind of thing. Absolutely. It makes all the difference in the life of someone with arthritis. And then our second event has kind of come out of a program that some people across Canada and the States and international, we've had lots of people do. We used to have a program called ROAR. And it was Reach Out for Arthritis Research.
Yeah.
And we would take our information and our studies and results of all the Arthritis Research Canada scientists, and then of course we would have to choose maybe 4 or 5 people to talk, which was always difficult, and we would have this big event. And what we found is you cannot, with arthritis, ask somebody to come at 8 o'clock in the morning, or to be at a 9 o'clock thing when you have to get ready at 8, or maybe you have to take public transportation. It was a lot of physical on the spot work for us as well.
Right.
And it was just a lot of organization. So we started to think smart. And so this year we have put out a arthritis education video. Now it's about, and I have to refer to it just a little bit, it's about running knee joints with Dr. Jean-François Esculier.
Okay.
And everybody that said this has been really excited, and I think you will be too. There's videos online, and basically he's talking about knee osteoarthritis and running. Because we know that people who are runners don't always like to stop running because they're so used to that runner's high. And so he's going to talk about whether it's still good, whether you can still do it, how fast the knee goes back, and he's also being joined with Trish Sylvester-Lee. And Trish used to be an athlete, a professional athlete, and has had injuries. And so, of course, she's got a little bit different case than the person that has maybe non-injury already. Right?
Yeah.
So in other words, if you have rheumatoid arthritis and you have knee surgery, it might be different than someone who's had it from a sport injury. So she'll be talking on that stage. And
so is this, sorry, just a question. So is this going to be a video series?
We're hoping, now that we've done this was our initial, and I will say, along with this, we're having a tweet chat.
Tweet chat.
Tweet chats are good, yes. So I just wanted to make sure I had the panel right. We've got Dr. Jean-François Esculier. We also have Dr. Linda Lee, who we know has done huge amounts of research on physio. And then we've got Dr. Jackie Whitaker. And Dr. Jackie Whitaker has moved from the Alberta scene down to the Lower Mainland, and she's done a lot of work on sports arthritis.
Right, and we actually have an interview with her that we did yesterday, so we'll link that so you can watch the interview with her and get
that
some information
would be
about her
perfect, because unfortunately we couldn't get Dr. Linda Lee in to talk. So we will be having that tweet chat.
Well, perfect. And what day does that tweet chat take place?
That date is March 4th, and it's on the arthritisresearch.ca website.
Perfect.
It is March 4th, and now I'm going to have trouble finding it. I'm going to post it. It's in the afternoon.
Great.
For the tweet chat.
And
1 to 2? Yeah. And you'll be able to talk real life with these 4 people.
Right.
And you'll be able to read afterwards what's been said.
That's always great. So 1 to 2 Pacific time on March 4th, and I believe the hashtag is...
Arthritis is serious, and we know it is serious. Have we got any questions?
Yes. How do you balance volunteer work, family, and your disease?
That is a great question. I'd love to know.
Well, I grab chances with my family whenever I can. And volunteering is really important to me. So I've found ways through that tips and lifestyle that I've developed over the 24 years to try to work things out and to do things easier. We have an upstairs pile and a downstairs pile, and my son's over once a month, and I've got 2 grown children, so although I've always volunteered even before, but my kids are used to the fact that Mama needs help, but she doesn't always like to ask help. So their way of doing things is I have an upstairs pile and a downstairs pile, and when you come to my house, it means I can't lift that pile, and they carry them all downstairs. And if it's downstairs in the pile, they carry it all upstairs for me. And that one they never ask about. And then they'll come back and say, what else do you need doing before I come back? And so they'll do that item. My other son talks to me regularly, which is a huge thing, just to say, how are you doing, Mom? And he has 3 little kids, and I'm actually staying with them. So this time I can volunteer here, I can go home and get my elbow bumps, because of course it's flu season, and enjoy them as well. So you balance that. Work, I have part-time work, and I work at home. So if I wake up at 2 in the morning and I'm in pain, but I think I could work for 20 minutes, I work for 20 minutes. My work is structured such that, actually, let's not tell anyone, but I forgot to tell, it's not my boss, but my client, that I'm here this week. But he'll just assume that this was a bad week for me, so he'll know that I'll be in on Monday and everything gets done. And I think it's really important to find bosses like that. You're very lucky. You have somebody that knows your arthritis and understands. Does that sort of answer their question, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Anything else?
Well, thank you so much, Kelly. It was great to hear all the new updates and exciting things that APAB is doing with the support of ARC. And can't wait to hear more about it and to get involved with the tweet chat on March 4th.
It will be pretty exciting. There will be 4 people that will be talking to it, experts. I imagine Trish will probably be there, is my sort of assumption. And we have a couple of our members, Eileen, for example, is one of them, that will be helping run it.
Right.
So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.